Good morning. We received the call originally to respond at 17:23 and 54 seconds. The ambulance arrived at 76th and Congress 4 minutes later. They were responding eastbound on Congress. They checked the bus stop on the southwest corner, and then proceeded to the southeast corner, and there was no patient found at either of those two bus stops. They went up a block, they did a U-turn, they came back and checked the bus stop on the northeast corner, and then proceeded through and checked the bus stop on the northwest corner. There was no patient found at any of the four state places. They then proceeded another block, did another U-turn, and sat facing the intersection and notified our dispatch center that there was no patient found. The dispatch center at 5:29 and 53 seconds attempted to call back to the patient's cell phone. It went directly to voicemail. We waited another 2 minutes, attempted a second call back. There was no response to the cell phone. And at that point, the ambulance cleared and left the scene.
Are your employees supposed to get out of their vehicle and look in that area, or are they just supposed to drive around?
So they were driving around. We actually have them GPS tracked at doing a couple loops through the intersection, trying to find somebody, anybody standing up, flagging down, something like that. And then they did the second most important part, which was let our dispatch center know and attempt to call the 911 caller back.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, they do not get out of their vehicle to look?
At this point, no, they did not get out of their vehicle to look.
Is there any disciplinary action plan for these individuals?
No.
Because they didn't do anything wrong. The EMS system here worked as designed. The first ambulance, which was for a low priority call, was there within 4 minutes. When the patient is not there, and you've looked as best as you can see, some bad lighting conditions, you have to understand that false alarms are a common thing in the EMS system, particularly at bus stops. So what will happen is someone will call for an ambulance, the bus comes, they get on the bus, and they leave. And that's very common. So the crew did the best they could by looking for the patient. The patient was not upright, the patient was hidden by objects, and was not actually at the bus station. They were on scene for 6 or 7 minutes. They attempted to call the patient back. They notified the dispatch center, and they took another call.
Do you think if they had just gotten out of the car, they would have found him?
Well, they would have had to get out of their car, and they would have had to check each of the 4 bus stops. When you've got pretty good visibility, you should see the patient. In this case, the patient was down behind objects. They did not see the patient.